Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
And happening right now, Governor Greg Abbott delivering remarks after officially being sworn in for his third term as governor of Texas.
Our Stephanie Jimenez is at the inauguration, and she's going to have a live report coming up in the next half hour.
In the meantime, with just 4.5 months left to her term, Councilwoman Ana Sandoval in San Antonio is resigning her position on the San Antonio City Council.
Sandoval has been in office since 2017 and would have been eligible for another term in the upcoming election.
She just spoke with reporters about this new decision at City Hall. Garrett Berger is there live. So, Garrett, what reasoning did she give?
Well, it really all came down to personal obligations. Sandoval became a mother last year, and she says she's playing a larger role in assisting her aging mother. And she wanted to make sure that she's going to be giving attention where it's due, so she'll be stepping down on the 29th, later this month. Now, during her time on council, Ana Sandoval has been especially known for her focus on health and environmental issues. She also made headlines recently after District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo initiated an angry confrontation with her ahead of the budget vote over Sandoval's lack of support for a plan he was pushing. Sandoval downplayed that incident when answering questions about her reasoning and really made it clear that she was stepping down because she wanted to make sure that she was giving attention where it deserved, both on the family side and also making sure that her constituents were getting attention as well. Now, in a statement, Mayor Ron Nuremberg said in part, quote, "We will miss her steadfast commitment to our local environment, equitable policies, and the general well-being of San Antonio's residents. I think I speak for all San Antonians in wishing her and baby Isadora all the best in their next chapter." Now, just moments ago, we also spoke with the city attorney who tells us that we're in a strange situation right now because of when Sandoval is stepping down. Technically, the council will have the option of whether or not to appoint a replacement, though her seat will be wide open on the May 6th ballot. The filing period for that begins tomorrow. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. Jury selection in the trial of Andre McDonald getting underway. He's accused of killing and then burning the body of his wife, Andreen. The trial is expected to last about 3 weeks. If found guilty, he will face up to life in prison. Stay with us on air and online for complete coverage of this trial.
Flames at a Northside apartment complex spreading from a balcony to 2 apartments. It all started around 9:15 last night on Brightwood Place near Broadway and East Bassey. That's where crews say a fire started on a balcony. Fortunately, firefighters were able to knock out the flames quickly and no one was hurt. Still, though, not clear what sparked the fire.
It was a story you'd see in a Hollywood crime show, except it happened right here on the streets of San Antonio. The double life of Balcones Heights police officer ended in a shocking shooting. Right now, the first episode of the new season of Texas Crime Stories is online. It spotlights the double life and killing of Julian Pacino. KSAT host Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman will look back on the case and Pacino's ties to the Texas Mexican Mafia. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And don't forget to subscribe.
Seems like wherever you go, there's construction. And this noon, TxDOT crews are out on some major roads working on a planned project. Traffic authorities, Stephen Cavazos, has a look at the areas that drivers may need to avoid.
The roads here in the Alamo City are about to get a little bit busier throughout the month of January. Let's get you in the know before you go. All right, Loop 1604 on the northeast side, we have bridge and barrier work that is actually taking place. This begins on Sunday, January 22nd, and should wrap pretty quickly, a portion of it at least, on Wednesday, January 25th. Now, this is for those late night owls or early bird commuters. Watch out, because we are going to see a full closure on Lookout Road and turnarounds at the intersection of Loop 1604. Let's stay on the theme of the northeast side, because on I-35 we will see some road work take place. Now, this has actually been current and should be wrapping up a portion again on Sunday, February 5th. It's a long-term closure, so we're going to see those crews out there 24/7. There will be a left lane closure along the I-35 southbound frontage road between Pat Booker Road and Topperwine Road. All right, one last jump over here to Wurzbach Parkway. You know, those roadway improvements, they are still ongoing, and we're going to see the work take place up until January 31st. marks the end of the month. This does start early in the morning, 9 a.m. and should wrap at 3 in the afternoon, alternating lane and ramp closures in both directions from Blanco Road to Thousand Oaks. All right, scan this QR code. It's going to take you directly to our KSAT traffic page. It has a full list of closures that are happening right now in and around the Alamo City.
After a day off for most people, some city crews have been working especially hard today. They have spent most of the morning cleaning up after yesterday's Dr. King Day celebration. Katrina Weber stopped by Pittman Sullivan Park for what appeared to be an after party with a purpose.
What started on the streets, marchers on a mission, wound up at a celebratory finish line. Pittman Sullivan Park for the first post-COVID in-person King Day gathering. In the wake of all the fun, though, was work, and lots of it for city crews putting this park back together. Bleachers had to go back where they belong. They also rounded up railings for a ride back to storage. But the biggest job in this unusual after party may be collecting all the cast-offs from a crowd in the tens of thousands, what amounts to a mountain of garbage.
It's pretty fast. They're making good progress around here. It's good.
Brian Springs was back at the park for his morning exercise after a peaceful celebration here yesterday.
It's nonviolence, with no fights, no shootings. It was great this year.
He also was pleased that the cleanup seemed to be going so quickly to give him room to run. Just like with any after party, this cleanup actually started yesterday, right after the event. Crews stayed late just to start picking up the trash. They got an early start today, showing up just as the sun came up and working until they put the shine back on the park. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And we're already up to 75 on our way to a possible record high today. We'll let you know how long this heat's going to stick around and what a frontal boundary means for our forecast coming up.
Also coming up, the Cowboys made history last night with a huge playoff road win. Highlights in sports.
A failed Republican state house candidate in New Mexico now under arrest after police say that he orchestrated drive-by shootings against Democratic state officials. Solomon Pena now facing several charges.
ABC's M. Wynn tells us that investigators say although no one was hurt, those bullets hit doors, windows, and even a child's bedroom.
Police in New Mexico say a former Republican candidate for the state house there has been arrested for allegedly arranging a series of drive-by shootings targeting the homes of 4 Democratic state officials.
It is believed that he is the mastermind that was behind this.
Albuquerque police accused 39-year-old Solomon Pena, who lost his race in November, conspired with and paid 4 men to carry out the reign of terror at the homes of Democratic officials beginning on December 4th.
He's an election denier. He doesn't want to accept the results of the election.
Detectives claim Pena, a staunch Trump supporter who served 7 years in jail for burglary, sent text messages with the addresses of the homes of the 2 Democratic legislators and 2 county commissioners he wanted his alleged accomplices to target. State Senator Linda Lopez saying bullets pierced the bedroom of her 10-year-old daughter, the young girl waking up to gunfire after parts of the ceiling fell on her. Bernalillo County Commissioner Adrian Barboa on social media saying, "It was terrifying. My house had 4 shots through the front door and windows where just hours before my grandbaby and I were playing."
On the last shooting, we now have evidence too that Pena himself went on this shooting and actually pulled the trigger on at least one of the firearms that was used.
Police also alleging the alleged shooter he was with fired more than a dozen rounds. No one was injured in any of the shootings. Investigators say they've gathered cell phone records, firearms, surveillance footage, and witnesses inside and outside the conspiracy as evidence against Pena.
No, we don't always agree with our elected officials, but that should never, ever lead to violence.
While the investigation remains ongoing, detectives say Pena is expected to be charged with several state crimes in connection to the shootings. Pena could not be immediately contacted for comment. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Outside with live game. Look at the temperatures, already in the mid-70s, and you say like a record could be set today.
Maybe this was the wrong day, perhaps, to wear a sweater dress.
Sweater?
You know, I'm not going to have any commentary on clothing, but I will tell you that it is warm out there. We'll see temperatures get up close to 82 degrees. That is the record for today. It's going to be a close call, I think. The aquifer is down 0.4 of a foot to 636.4 in your pollen count. We have high counts of Mount Cedar, but they're dropping from where they were yesterday at 860. Mulder low at 320. Frontal boundary comes through tomorrow. What does that mean for our rain chances and our temperatures? We take a look coming up.
Using art as a way to help bring people downtown, helping a local small business, and also stimulating the San Antonio economy, too.
As Max Massey explains, that is the goal of the Centro San Antonio Art Everywhere program. And with a special event just around the corner, the program is looking to put up 50 new art pieces around town.
We're here downtown, and take a look. This piece of art is called The Perfect Day. And this piece of art alone, this mural, has changed this corner for a great purpose. Joined here with Andy with Centro San Antonio. So, Andy, explain the impact of this.
Well, you know, it's amazing. You look at this piece of art and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. But what we do with Art Everywhere is create placemaking. So it makes some place that's no place into some place really special. That used to be a driveway. That was a driveway. It was where cars pulled in. And as you can see now, it's a place where you can grab a margarita. You can grab something to eat. Just sit outside and enjoy the community. So art really does have the power to transform, and that's what we're trying to do.
And you guys have big plans in the works. You already have 60 art locations downtown, but there's more on the way.
There are. In order to celebrate our 3rd anniversary, what we're trying to do is to just put more art, squeeze it in, shoehorn it in any place we can. We work in the conjunction with the Department of Arts and Culture, but what we're trying to do, we put art in private spaces. We're planning on putting 50 additional pieces downtown to celebrate our 3rd anniversary.
And how can people get involved? How can their art be displayed?
They get in touch with us. We're at centrosanantonio.org. Give us a call. You have an idea for a piece of art. You have a wall that needs a piece of art. What we do is make art happen. So we're matchmakers, and we would love to do it. The more vibrancy, the more we're able to tell our stories, the better.
All right, Andy, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, we have all those answers. Just head to KSAT.com. Reporting downtown, Max Massey, KSAT12 News.
Beautiful stuff there.
Yeah, the colors and the detail.
Speaking of colors, I'm all Texas teched out today.
You are. Congratulations. Good job. Go Tech. Wreck 'em. Hey, I like that.
Like you guys.
We're making Justin very uncomfortable.
I feel like you're trying to rub it in.
Well, you know.
Right. That's okay. Texas Tech's a great school. It is. It is.
My daughter thinks so now, too.
Yes. That's what we were talking about. We do know that in Lubbock it's going to be hot today. It's also going to be hot in San Antonio. We've got temperatures really starting to jump up. So the forecast for today is 81 here in San Antonio. The record is 82, set back in 1938 and 1999. We're going to be right in range of that. It's possible we could tie or even set the record later this afternoon. So be prepared for some heat. Here's a look at the forecast highs. I think a lot of us will be in the 80s or at least close to it. This shows some 70s here, but I really think they'll probably be in range of San Antonio where we're around 81 by 4 o'clock. So be prepared for the heat today. We're seeing lots of sun. That's helping us out. And as we go outside for you right now, 75 already with northeasterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. Dew point is at 56. And as we look at the satellite picture, something interesting here. This was an area of fog and cloud cover earlier. It is trying to shift northwest, but not having a whole lot of success. So there is a band of clouds here stretching from Gonzales up to LaGrange back down towards Pleasanton, while everyone else is sunny. We've got some thin high clouds moving through, but nothing that's very thick. 77 in Hondo. 75 New Braunfels, 75 in San Antonio. Look at the difference these clouds have made, though. 63 in Gonzales, 66 in Kennedy. Clouds this time of year make a huge difference. We'll see if some of these try to work towards Bexar County, but they probably fall apart before they do. 79, that's the warm spot in Castroville. 77 in Hondo, as we said, and 74 out in Uvalde. 79, 2 o'clock today. We'll be up around 80 by 3 p.m. 81, your high temperature. And then clouds begin to kick in and move in later tonight. We'll see quite a bit of cloud cover and then maybe a few very light showers. We'll start to add those in around midnight. And then by tomorrow morning, there's an opportunity for some light sprinkly showers, but I wouldn't look for much here. This is not going to be a big rain event. And what else is new? This seems like this has been every rain event for us. It's been just light and the chances are small, but let me show it to you here. This is 10 o'clock. Clouds are starting to move in. And then by, say, 4 a.m., starting to see some of these light showers developing, and then along the front, a few more. This is 7 a.m., so the morning commute, there could be some showers around. It's a possibility, so plan for that, but it's only a 20% chance. And then once this front moves through, it clears everything out. There could be maybe a couple of heavier showers as you get towards Cuero and Hallettsville mid-morning before everybody clears out midday, and then we're back in the sun tomorrow, but not as warm because we'll be behind that front. Now, the other thing we have to worry about are gusty winds. Gusty winds will kick in directly behind the front. Gusts to 35 miles per hour possible across the hill country on the Highway 90 corridor. But even here in northwestern Bexar County, there is a fire risk. So this area you see in the light brown here, that represents where we have a fire weather watch that could turn into a red flag warning tomorrow. Grass fires could spread very quickly. It has been so very, very dry, so that's something we have to watch. Dew points fall off with the front. We get a couple dry days, and then humidity builds again by the weekend, and that means another chance for some showers before another front moves through. It is a literal roller coaster here with the dew points back and forth between all these systems that continue to just kind of scrape us and not really give us huge rain chances. There goes the one that storm system that brings us the rain chance tomorrow. Here comes our next one. This one does build a little bit further south, so we've brought rain chances up just barely from 20 to 30% as we get into Saturday with this next system. Still not a great opportunity, but at least we still have it in the forecast, and this is how it looks in the 7-day. 75 tomorrow, that 20% chance of a shower early. 71 Thursday, 66 Friday as clouds increase. 62 Saturday with that chance of rain. Right now, 30% chance, and then it clears out some Sunday and Monday, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Dak Prescott had one of his best games as a pro last night, and what a great time to do it. And the Cowboys did something they haven't done in like 30 years. Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott finally got the win they have been looking for a long time now, several decades. They got it on the road. It was the first since 1993 that came on the road. Him against the best quarterback in NFL history, Tom Brady, in the wild card round after a slow start. You see Dak got his first touchdown there. Dalton Schultz got it, 22-yard touchdown. And then Tom Brady tries to answer. They drive all the way down to the 5-yard line, and Tom Brady throws an interception. And then Dak Prescott, how about that fake right there? Bam. Bootleg, touchdown. Dak Prescott has that one. And then we are still in the first half. Time running out. Prescott finds Dalton Schultz again. That's another touchdown. Cowboys take a lead. Can't make an extra point, but they got the lead. And that's all that really matters. It's 18-0. And we're in the third. Prescott. Michael Gallup, did he get in? Yeah, he was in. He got shoved out, came back in, established himself. Touchdown's good. Then Prescott again. CeeDee Lamb, touchdown. Cowboys just rubbing it in on Tom Brady, but they can't make an extra point for some strange reason. CeeDee Lamb got that one, although after missing 3 extra points, they finally got one. And that was the end of Tom Brady. Will it be the end of Tom Brady's career? We don't know that yet, but we do know the Cowboys are pretty excited about getting that road win.
It was a way for me to just dial back in. But at the sense, I mean, I wiped that clean and just I knew what this game meant. I knew how important it was for us.
Man, it feels great. Going out there, putting up a game like he did today, no turnovers, that was big for us. So it feels great, you know, just watching him have a game like that.
I think he was the heartbeat of the team tonight. I think he definitely was the heartbeat of the team. He made a bunch of tough throws, a lot of tough plays, and just happy all that work he putting in is coming to fruition.
Y'all seen before is all about, there's a lot of stuff going around. People talk about, just that's the type of guy he is. And y'all seen it tonight, what type of guy he is, the way he leads his team, the big plays he can make. And hats off to that guy, man.
Yeah, the offensive line did a great job for him. The key was no turnovers for Dak Prescott last night. You remember the kicker missed all those extra points? Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, and the head coach, Mike McCarthy, said, it's all right. He's done enough. We know what he can do. We're not making any kind of kicker changes, at least not right now. Giants and Eagles kick things off Saturday at 7:15, and then it's the Cowboys and the 49ers Sunday, 5:30. We'll see how that goes. And over on the AFC side, it's Jaguars and Chiefs Saturday at 3:30, and the Bengals and the Bills Sunday at 2 o'clock.
So happy for the Cowboys.
Yes, you are. I know you're upset that Tom's not in it anymore, but
you need to call me. I can console. Governor Abbott taking his oath of office in the next half hour. Stefania Jimenez has a look at what he had to say as he began his third term as governor.
Tap water may be safe to drink, but it's a different story when it comes to putting it in medical devices. Why it can be dangerous and in rare cases, even deadly.
If you're the kind of person who starts planning your summer vacations now, then tune in at 5. We're going to show you how to use the recent air travel issues to benefit you on your next trip. That's at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. Those unrelenting storms still slamming California, but there's finally some relief from the torrential rain. However, now snow is falling in the mountains.
ABC's Matt Rivers also tells us about possible mudslides left behind as the storm now moves across the country.
Whiteout conditions high up in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Drivers forced to contend with whipping snow and avalanches. Record snowfall turning nearby Truckee, California into a winter wonderland.
This is a town that's used to snow, but even for Truckee, all this is a lot. In some parts of this area, roughly 3 feet of snow has fallen in just the last 24 hours.
It's snow in the mountains, but all rain down below. This latest storm dumping inches more rain across the state, stranding cars across Mission Valley near San Diego. This man rescued by firefighters, one of at least 7 such rescues in the flooding. Mudslides and landslides a constant threat, this one damaging homes in Berkeley Hills, another making this road in Berkeley completely impassable. After weeks of bad weather, some residents were prepped for the worst. Daryl Hardy set up a zip line about 2 weeks ago, fearing floodwaters would take out a bridge to his home. Sure enough, they did.
And the White House says that President Biden will travel to Central California on Thursday to meet with communities there impacted recently by this severe weather. Matt Rivers, ABC News in Truckee, California.
Across the country, at least 8 people were shot in southeastern Florida yesterday during a massive celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. More than 1,000 people were attending a block party at a park in Fort Pierce. That's just north of West Palm Beach. At some point, multiple gunshots rang out just hours after an MLK Day parade had ended. One of the 8 gunshot victims was hospitalized in critical condition. 4 other individuals, including a child, injured as they ran for safety. Police say the shooting was a result of a dispute between 2 parties in the park. Officers say they believe there was more than one shooter.
There could be more searches ahead for classified documents at locations connected to President Biden. That's according to CNN. Biden's team has searched a private office in Washington, D.C. and his 2 homes in Delaware, where the White House says files may have been shipped during Biden's 2017 transition out of office as vice president. They found about 20 classified documents. Biden has used other office spaces, though, and his family has rented another home in Northern Virginia.
Let's get outside with live cam. We're getting close to setting a record, and why not? Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I just hope it doesn't mess up like the plants. They're going to be like all confused.
Well, are the plants going to like go into summertime mode with this?
It's a good question. I think everything, we had the big freeze in December, and then this whole January has just been warm. So the plants probably are thoroughly confused. And I want to show you the temperatures across the state and then across the country, because we are now one of the warmest spots in the country. Obviously, Corpus Christi, Houston, and Brownsville, Laredo, all there with us. But if you're looking at South Texas as a whole, yes, we are one of the warmest spots, other than, of course, Miami, which has been setting the record for the warmest spot in the country for a good couple of weeks now. The cold stuff is bottled up north, Bismarck, International Falls, Casper. But even then, these numbers are not that cold. Even Minneapolis is above freezing today, 34. So by January standards, this is not a real cold map. And we're not expecting any sort of big snap of cold weather, at least not anytime soon. As we look at the satellite picture, there is this band of clouds that has been working through our southeastern counties, affecting places like Gonzales and Karnes City, helping to keep temperatures down there. But everyone else seeing some warm readings. Here's a little closer look at some of these clouds as they work their way through Falls City, Gillette, Stockdale, Floresville. You're going to get some of this cloud cover too. I don't think it'll last that long. Already starting to break up, but that's kind of the one thing that we have on our map today. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of sun today. Up there 80 by 3 o'clock, 81. The high, keep in mind, the record is 82 for this date. Mostly cloudy as we get into tonight. Then a frontal boundary comes in tomorrow morning. That means a few showers, and it does cool down some tomorrow. I'll look at your Wednesday forecast and the rest of your work week here in just a few minutes.
We'll look forward to that. Thanks, Justin. Southwest Airlines is updating customers following its operations meltdown last month. Southwest says it has returned virtually all of the bags and processed almost all refunds. It has also hired an aviation consulting firm to complete an assessment of the event and make recommendations of additional mitigation elements for us to consider. The airline has budgeted more than $1 billion of its annual operating plan on improving and maintaining its IT systems. Southwest says it canceled more than 16,000 flights between December 21st and December 31st and lost between $725 million to $825 million in revenue.
Walgreens says it is no longer limiting online sales of children's fever medicine. Some pharmacies restricted such purchases last month when RSV and the flu were causing that big surge of demand. The CDC says flu and RSV have peaked now. Other respiratory viruses, though, remain high or very high in about half of the United States. Walgreens didn't limit in-person sales of pediatric fever medication, though. Freshwater fish containing dangerous high levels of synthetic toxins. That's according to scientists at a nonprofit. They took a look at data from the Environmental Protection Agency's National Rivers and Streams Assessment and a Great Lakes study. The scientists say it shows that forever chemicals have gotten into our fresh water, and they have accumulated in fish in high concentrations. Based on the study's findings, the scientists urge people who fish freshwaters for sport to strongly consider releasing their catch and not eating them.
A recent study shows many people believe tap water is safe to use in medical devices, but doctors say it's not true. CNN's Mandy Gaither has more on the dangers of using tap water in some of those home medical devices and how to stay safe.
In the U.S., tap water is typically safe to drink.
Our digestive tract contains many different tools and parts of our immune system to help keep us safe.
But putting tap water in medical devices can be dangerous and in rare cases even deadly if it leads to a brain infection. And many may not know this. A majority of people who took part in a 2021 survey incorrectly said that tap water could be used for nasal rinsing or rinsing contact lenses and was safe to use in respiratory devices like a CPAP machine, humidifier, or a neti pot.
If you think about how we smell, those nerves go directly from the top of our nose up into our brain. And so that, in some instances, may be a direct conduit for infection.
Dr. Kara Wada with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says there are easy ways to stay safe. First, you can buy distilled or sterile water at the grocery store or a medical supply company. If nasal rinsing, buy a sterile pre-mixed can of saline rinse. Or you can boil your tap water.
It needs to boil for about 1 minute. If you're at higher elevation, then that will need to be extended to about 3 minutes. Then you can let that water cool down and use that to mix up your saltwater solution.
When used properly, Wada says saline rinses and products are a great way to help you feel better.
I wouldn't get too scared, but I also would take these extra steps to ensure that you are doing this safely.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.